What's wrong with eating babies? If we've got extra babies around that nobody wants, why can't we eat them, right?
I'm really worried about that line of thinking. I think that's wrong, and I think it's a little dangerous. It sounds almost.
You're not you're just not imagining those circumstances.
No. So let me clarify, because this is important, right? So it has such terrible consequences, both in terms of what we are doing to our captors and what we are doing to our own morality, and the message we're sending to the rest of the world about whether we're good guys or bad guys, that I wouldn't do it. I might not do it even if I thought that it was absolutely going to work. When I don't think it is, it's very unlikely. Right? It's that once you start,
No, it's not.
That's why you've got to avoid those beginnings, to avoid those endings. They never started little and remained little. It always starts a little bit, and then they're drawing and quartering.
You are ignoring half of my argument, which is, I'm arguing in most cases, it's not psychopathology.
Sam, that seems like an incredible excuse for it.
No, Sam Harris can't figure out why we can't eat babies, right? It makes me look like an asshole.
So we agree there. Now, the slight caveat to that, or a very important caveat to that, is that, hey, isn't this a better way of life? I got 72 girls in Vegas that are better, right? So
you seem to think I'm much more hawkish than I am. You and I might check the same boxes. And the moment you accept, and again, many people don't accept this for reasons I cannot fathom, but the moment you accept that certain people really do eat babies, death today would not be a bad thing for them. Why can't we eat babies? Give me an ethical argument, but why this is really, really...
Oh no, they need to watch his ass. Crazy part about it is, even when explained why that would be a bad idea, he was still shitty and still really didn't understand why that wouldn't be a good idea. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna absolutely be watching the comments, because you absolutely just told on yourself, sir. And I want to know who else gonna tell on theyself. I advise y'all come back and do the same.
Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. This is your Aki Majul Azil, back with another quick lesson. And you can tell by the opening topic who it's about, man. The wicked of the world, Esau, Edom. Now you can see that these, in the topic, these files that are coming out about these wicked people, and I guess it's their fall guy, or these Edomites, man, they're pretty much deliberate in their scheme. So they allowing the people, because they control and manipulate everything, because they have control of everything around us, whether it be the food that you eat, whether it be the entertainment that you so-called enjoy, whether it be, the outlet where you look into for truth or topics around the world. These devils have the capability of manipulating scenarios and situations. And you can see that this Ep person is pretty much, in the center of attention, all the way up to your so-called, they're holding congressional meetings in your top level of government based on this individual's, characteristics, the things that he indulged in, like he was a government official, But nonetheless, see, this devil has ties. This individual has ties to high-ranking people in this government, entertainers, etc. Man, producers. This dude was very acquainted and affiliated with these politicians, ex-presidents, current presidents, entertainers, athletes, or whatever may have you, man. He was affiliated with these people. But there's also information out that state that which I can believe, because I seen recently that, some time ago, they were saying there was some minutes taken away, or some minutes that can't be accounted for, where there was a glitch in where this person, this Ep person was being held in prison from the time that he was, taken into custody, from the time that they say that he took his life, there was some minutes that were can't be accounted for. It was like a glitch. It jumped from, X amount of minutes to several minutes in the future, where this time cannot be accounted for. See, that's the world we live in, the world of deception. So, I can believe, which there's also other recent information that's been brought up, that this person is still alive. This person is still alive, and he's in this state of the Ish state in the Middle East, to say the least. They said there's information of this guy being over there. There's sites of an individual that fit this guy's description, looks identical to this guy, that could be possibly him, or he could have went to several underground bunkers that these people have, man, So we know that we live in the world of deception because what? Who control it? The wicked, man. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. So everything is not as it seemed, man. And I remember that saying since I was a youngin' coming up, like I was recapping on this down memory lane, when I was a real youngster, man, in my teens, in my mid to late teens, and some individual, way before I even knew anything about the truth, man, there's some individuals, a so-called black guy, he walked down our neighborhood, and he just said it out loud for everybody to hear. We were just outside. He was like, everything is not what it seems, or things are not the way it seems. I always kept a mental thought of it, but as time, as you got wiser and time progressed, you come to realize what this guy actually meant, and I see clearly what he meant. You know what I'm saying? Cause you could tell from the outside surface level, you got people trying to portray, this country is made by, is ran by people with like, I'm gonna say the Constitution, foundation, the Constitution got morality, have, freedom of justice and integrity, but you come to realize it's not what it seems. All that is nothing more than a facade for people to give a false hope into this demonic, wicked society, man. It's just words that was there to deceive the masses, man, to believe that the reason why these devils are where they at is because they're doing something correct, right? They're doing the trying to act like they're supposed to be the good guys of society, let alone the world, but in general, they're the problem, man. They're the wicked. They're the real issues, not alone what's going on. They're the source of what's going on, of the problems, not only here in Babylon the Great, but throughout the world, man. Because according to Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And I'm going to just go into the book of 1 John chapter 5, and the point is at 19. It says, and we know that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world lieth in wickedness, man. So the whole world lieth in wickedness, man. You know what I'm saying? This whole world, just like I should have put that video with this, but there was an Edomite female. I think I did do a lesson on that, but she even stated, she said that it's been made evident that the whole entire world is being ran by sadistic, murderous pedos, man. And he said now they say now they expect everybody, now once we got confirmation of that, Salakia, now they expect everybody just to go about their daily life like they never heard that. And she said, now I got to clock into this, this sorry ass job after I was, informed of this information. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? They want to act like, because that's the whole narrative that Esau Edom has, man. He want to tell you the wicked things that he done, the abominable things he done, and he wants you just to accept it, because that's the mentality of a sadistic person, man. He tell you that they do these things, and just like this video that I just that's in the beginning of this lesson, you got this Edomite up there talking about like he's comfortable, and he's trying to figure out like not only this guy that's interviewing him, but the world, like why are people, frowning upon them eating babies. See, we're not, now that we know certain things, like this what these devils was doing. They was back in, when they had this in hardcore bondage, they got a book out called Delectable Negroes. That's what they did, man. They raised us, or they raised so-called black people on farms just to eat them, man. So this is not shocking to us, man. So this is part of these devils' nature, man. They're the wicked, man. And now they want, because they know that they run this world, they want everybody to accept their ideology, and they're trying to act like, hey, what's the big deal? We indulging in consuming babies. What's the big deal? If somebody don't want their baby and we want to eat them, what's the big deal of us eating babies? Like they're trying to persuade the minds of the masses like there's nothing wrong with eating babies or eating humans anyway. But from my understanding, that I thought that was murder. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, just because somebody don't want a child doesn't mean you can put this child or sacrifice this child and then consume it. You know what I'm saying? To me, I thought that was murder, But see, that's what they do. And he just made it clear. He said he wanted these people to know that there are people that eat babies. He's like what this guy's saying. There's people that actually literally, so they've been doing this for a long time. Now they'll feel comfortable to the point that they can just let the masses know, and there'll be little to no consequences. And this Ep guy is nothing more than a fall guy in efforts to act like these people still have some morality. These people do have justice. So we're going to say this guy was eliminated. He ended up offing himself. Now there's justice has been served. You know what I'm saying? But you can't actually tell for sure if this guy is eliminated, neutralized, or whatever you want to call it, or took his own life. You can't tell that, man. You know what I'm saying? With the deception of these people, man. This whole everything they have their means of getting away with stuff, man. Because they got their own little, they got their individuals in these all parts of the government, to your local government, to these prison industrial institute. They got their own people that's willing to do things where they can manipulate the situation. Because that's how deceptive these people are, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how tied in they are, man. These people are the wicked, man. So you can't trust nobody, especially we're living in these days. You can't trust anybody now, man. Because you don't know who is who. These people that are in a position as to protect and serve you, they're the actual criminals, man. They're just hiding behind a costume. That's all it is. A role playing. I got the good guy costume, but really they're the wicked. And the Bible says that, roughly paraphrasing, wolf in sheep clothing, man. That's pretty much what these devils are, man. I'm going to read the Amplified version. And it says, 1 John 5:19 again, it says, we know for a fact that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world around us lies in the power of the evil one, oppressing Yahweh and his precepts, man. Exactly. Who has the power of this world, man? Currently, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. The wicked that the Bible speaks of. That's why he's so confident to say things as if, there's nothing wrong with it, because he knows there's little to no consequences that he's going to face. And when it comes to money, that's nothing to him, man. He can give millions, if not billions of dollars away, and it's nothing. You know why? Because he controls the monetary system. He prints money like it's nothing, man. He'll get that back in interest. He'll probably get that back within that same week that he gave away, off of some penalties or whatever, or some court settlement. You know what I mean? Some civil suit. That's nothing to him, man. Money is nothing to this devil, man. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately their goal is what? Complete control of the masses, especially ones that are conscious of really what's going on and they got these imbeciles in this society just playing along with these devils concept of this false narrative of, oh, we can this guy's, he's famous for, we can all get along. This Rodney King guy, can't we all just get along? And I've been seeing that lately. Now you got all these Negroes and these pale faces that grew up in the era of segregation, but they want to act like they all get along, and looking at me as if I'm the one that came about and brought about Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? But these Edomites that were putting up or have passed these policies and put up these signs, they won't go around them acting like, nah, the problem was him. He was the one that was dividing us. That's how because I be seeing that from these Negroes, especially these, I live where I'm at now, these jokers across the street. You know what I mean? It looks like some, some, house for, I don't know what you want to say, but you got a mixture of Edomites. I'm gonna just put it simple. These Negroes and these white and a couple of these white folks, but they act like they all in harmony. But if you look at them, the majority of them look like they grew up during the segregation era. They all old, decrepit. You know what I'm saying? But they looking like they all get along, but they're looking at me like I was the source of their division. Like he was the one that was trying to divide us the whole time. That's how they looking at me, man. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that were, which were these pale faces, they won't never dare act like they can care less about them, but they want to concentrate on me. But I know it's all the devil. They're using these that's what these elites call them, useless eaters. That's what they are, man. Useless eaters to their benefit, to attack other people that they feel threatened by. You know what I mean? It's all the works of the devil, man. And I'm gonna end this lesson, man. You know, I've been pretty much which would say the least vetting, but that's the world that we live in, and we know that our Lord warned us, man. This world is gonna get a lot worse than it's gonna get better, and we can see the atrocities, man. Things that are being talked about, things that are being done throughout the world. At one point in time, you were like, man, there's no way, with the policies and rules and regulations and the job titles and safeness that are in place, none of this stuff will take part, man. But we know the reason why is because these devils control everything, man. They can make themselves, no matter how wicked they actually are, they can make themselves as a good guy, and you can be promoting justice and promoting righteousness, and they'll try to make you out of the bad guy, man. They can that's how manipulative these devils are, man, because they control everything. They can control the narrative, man. I'm going to read 1 John 5:19, the Amplified version again. I'm going to end it off, man. We know for a fact that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world around us lies in the power of the evil one. Esau, Edom, man, this whole world lies in the power of the evil one. They control the monetary system. They control the entertainment system. They control your source of education. They control your source of media, These devils control all this stuff, man, but they want to have you people believe that you have some freedom where they're the ones that dictates your freedom, man. Because right now they're dismantling you people constitutional rights as we speak, man, by censoring, put these policies on these platforms. You can go out, they can say for instance, they were on these platforms, so these media platforms, they can show someone being executed, beheaded, or whatever, and that would be acceptable. But then once you come out and you speak about who the wicked is according to the Bible, they'll demonize you, man, saying that you spread a hate speech, disinformation, or whatever they want to call it. But the proof is in the pudding, But I'm going to end it off there, man. Hope the body was edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Again, this your Akim Majulazil. Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. Till next time, Shalom, Barakatham, and the Baba Ball. Shalom.